Good morning, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. Welcome to our webinar, Ads Demystified, your guide to better targeting and quality leads. The story I'm about to share may surprise you, but remember you're here today because we ran an ad and filtered out the leads that we got and decided on who exactly we wanted to be in this role and why. So let's take a step back. When we started, um, we our initial growth story was organic leads, wanted organic marketing, and as we were progressing, we needed more leads and more prospects. So we started running ads like many of you businesses were doing. And we soon discovered that the ads that we were running weren't delivering quality leads. So we would run an ad and the people we would get from the ad just we couldn't work with them for whatever reasons. Um, so we had to return to the drawing board and research how we can run ads, how we can use ads that will work for us as a company. And in the process of that research, we spoke to business owners who had similar problems. We learned by testing until we found a template that works. So today we apply that template that we've come up with from all the time of researching and working with different businesses. We use that same templates with businesses that we choose to work with. Now, I'm sure some of you may be surprised, think, okay, choose to work with. But yes, we say choose because we only work with clients who share our core values. So we do get people who ask us to work with them, but because of the type of business they're doing or and things like that for different reasons, we may decide not to go ahead with it. For us here, our core values, we call it HEAT. So that's honesty, empathy, excellence, and transparency. So those are the things that we think about when we want to work with businesses, how that fits into our own core values, just to ensure that we're not compromising and that we're happy with what we're doing. So at Slvr Wlf, work with people who believe in strategic thinking and use data for decision making to scale their business. So when you do your initial consultation, for those of you who have done a consultation with us, we ask a lot of questions because we want to know the data you're working with. A lot of businesses carry on business without really thinking about the hard data and how that will help them scale their business. So that's the first thing that will need to be addressed before we can even agree to work with a business. So today our team will be sharing what we've learned through all this time working with different businesses, spending millions of naira in ad management, and how your business can grow using these strategies. We're not here to sugarcoat ads. We're here to show you how to make them work and help you stop wasting your time. So welcome once again to our webinar, and we hope that you find it very helpful.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. And we're happy to start off with you. We're glad you could join us on this webinar, this long advertised webinar. We've been looking forward to it, and we hope you have been too, and that's why you're here. So today we're going to be answering 5 important questions. I'm sure a lot of us have been looking forward to this day to get the answers to those questions so that we can improve quality of our business and, of course, get more clients. So we're going to be helping you recognize the challenges, add challenges, and, of course, provide actionable solutions. When you identify the problem, then you're able to find solutions. And we can assure you that at the end of this webinar, you will have gotten answers to these questions. We all agree that business ads can be a powerful tool for business growth, but the challenges that have made it quite a difficult thing for many people to accomplish. So we're going to make it easy for you so that at the end of this meeting, this webinar, you would have found answers to these 5 questions. What are these 5 questions again? For emphasis, I will just talk about them briefly. The first one is, why is money disappearing from my ad account? Many people have asked this question. Many people have asked this question, and we're going to give you the answers to this question. You're going to find the answer to this question before the end of this webinar. You're also going to answer the question number 2, which is, why am I getting low quality leads? Why is it that I put out an ad and the people who cannot afford my service, what I'm offering, are the ones contacting me? We're going to find the answer to that question. Question 3, how do I improve my ad targeting? That's a question you should look out for to get the answer today, because it's going to change a whole lot of things for you when you put out ads. And question 4, do ads still work? We get a lot of people asking this question. If you're on social media, quite recently, a lot of people have been talking about this. I spent XYZ, it's not working. Is this all a waste of time? Well, we're going to demystify that as well. And finally, our question number 5, it will be, why do specialists give conflicting answers to the same question? You go to this person, he says he's a specialist, he's an expert, and you ask the same question, you get a different response. Why is this the situation today? So we can look out for the answers to these questions, because we're going to be answering them today. Stay with us, don't go away as we answer these important questions. But before we move on to the very first question, where I will invite our Chief Executive Experience Officer to answer that question, I would like to mention that this session is best suited for decision makers serious about growth. So if you're serious about growth, you're a decision maker, you're a business owner that is a decision maker, and you're serious about growth, with a minimum of 5 million naira quarterly revenue, this webinar is for you. If you're not already at this point in your growth journey as a business owner, some figures we'll be mentioning may sound strange to you. Why are these people talking about such huge figures? Well, that's because that's where we are. Those are the people we're talking to at this point. And if this is your current situation, we say that it's okay for you to exit our session. Our conversation may not be relevant to you, but if you stay on, because our strategies are designed for types of businesses that are ready to invest, we are confident that you are going to get value for your time you'll be spending with us. And if you meet the criteria, so if you're still here, that means that you are ready to learn and grow your business even more. So we say that please send us, I am ready, in the chat. You can just drop that in the chat and we'll see it. I am ready. That's something we'd like you to do. Remember that this webinar, we would love to hear from you. We'd love you to respond when we ask questions, when you have questions, because we're not just going to be doing all the talking. When you have questions, please drop them in the chat. And remember to follow us on all our socials. We'll be dropping that there too, so you can easily do that. All right, so let's get to the very first question. I'll be inviting Miss Abigail Anaba. We're starting with the very first question. Why is money disappearing from my account? To set this particular session rolling, we are going to be taking a poll. And so I'm going to stop sharing for a minute so that I can share this poll with you. And the poll is on ad spend. So, how much have you spent on ads in the last 3 months? The answer that you're going to give is private to you. No other person is going to see that answer. But please go ahead and indicate in the comments how much in the survey, how much have you spent on ads in the last 3 months? Just give us a cumulative amount. This is how much I've spent on ads in the last 3 months. Well, if you've not spent any money on ads, well, that's fine too. You don't have to answer the question. So, while that is on, the question we're trying to answer is, why is money disappearing from my ad account? Let me thank those who have responded so far to this question. I'm just going to leave that poll up for a bit so that other people can, who are just joining us, can also provide answers to that question. Just impute the total amount in figures that you've spent running ads in the last 3 months. Now, if in the last 3 months you feel like money was just disappearing from your ad account, please use the raise hand tool to indicate this. I feel money has been disappearing from my account. You spent money and you feel it's been disappearing. Just raise your hand. Let's know ourselves. Okay? All right. So this is a question that, this is something that a lot of people have been battling with. Just having money disappear out of their accounts. So there are 2 key reasons why money could be disappearing from your ad account. Let me say that we cannot specifically tell you this is why money is disappearing from your account until we take a look at your dashboard. But because we've looked at the dashboards of hundreds of business owners, it's possible for us to predict why, in your case, money could be disappearing from your account. So there are 2 key reasons. But I'm going to start by talking about what is not the reason for money disappearing from your account. Some people say the platforms, whether Meta, Google, or whatever platform they're using, they're out to steal their money. That is not the case. No platform wants to steal your money. In fact, the contrary is the case. They actually want you to make money. So money disappearing from your ad accounts is always something you did or did not do. So what are the key causes? Number 1, not properly pausing or turning off your ads. We're going to watch a video later on which actually shows the 3 levels of ad creation. We have the campaign level, we have the ad set level, and we have the ad level. Now, you can either put a budget at the campaign level, which is CBO, campaign budget optimization, or the ad set level, ABO, ad set budget optimization. Talking about Meta ads now. If you have put your money at the campaign level, and when you want to turn off your ad, you turn it off at the ad set level, and you forget to turn off the ad itself, the ad will keep running until it gets to the end date. And for a lot of people, they don't even add an end date to their ad, and so it just keeps running forever. And once you, Facebook will tell you, oh, you've run out of money in your account, you get that, oh, fund your account. At the moment you fund it, everything goes, because you have left your ad running. It's just like an illustration I used some time ago. You cannot leave the tap running and complain that water has finished in the tank. So for you to get your water retained in the tank, you need to turn off wherever leakages there are. And so for a lot of business owners who really do not understand how ads work, they actually leave their ads running without knowing that that's what they've done. They've not turned off the ad properly, and so the ad keeps running and money keeps leaking from the account. So that's one reason. Another reason why money might be leaking from your account is platform glitches. Yes, there are platform glitches. They do happen. You may have paused an ad. Maybe you didn't end the ad, you just paused it. You paused an ad, and then when you put in money into your ad account again, it restarts automatically. Now, what has happened in this case is that it might be a platform glitch. Well, you can't prevent platform glitches, but you can envisage that a platform glitch might happen, and then you stop it. And how do you do this? You need to constantly check your ad account. Every day, the way Meta runs their reporting system, every day you are told how much you have spent on ads. And then you can even go into the ads manager to know which ad in particular you have spent money on. So if you I'm just going to quickly show you something in the Meta Ads Manager, how you can tell, and that would require me sharing my screen for a bit. I'd have to use the Slvr Wlf account, because I can't use a client account, and then you see what's going on in that client account. So I'm just going to use the Slvr Wlf account and just quickly demonstrate. I'm just going to quickly demonstrate how you can tell which ad is running and which is not. So I'm just going to close this, close that for a while, and then I'm gonna share my screen with you. Look for the window, and that's it. So I'm gonna share this window with you. So this is what the ad manager looks at the back end. You'll see that. So here you have the campaigns, which shows you all the campaigns that are running in that ad account. Here you have ad sets, and here you have ads. So that's basically the three levels that we're talking about. So how would you know which ad is actually running? So you come here and you check active ads. That kind of just tells you which ad is running in your ad account at a particular point in time. So you click on active ads as a filter, and that kind of just filters out. Facebook is asking me to name this view. I don't want to name the view. Just going to close that. But active ads, well, you would see which ads are still active and is running. If you don't have any ads running, which is, in our account, there's no ad running. That's why we don't have any active ads that showed up. You can check ads delivery. That would also tell you which ads in your ad account have had delivery, and you just see all of them listed. So you can now come and check the date. Is it ongoing, or has it finished delivering, and has it ended? So when you use these filters, you'll be able to tell which of your ads is running, which is not. Of course, you can also go to your billing and payments, and from the billing and payments, you'll be able to tell how much you have in that ad account, how much was removed each day, and if you click on it, it will also tell you what it was removed for, right? So that is just a quick overview. I hope you got the sense of that. You actually saw my screen. It would be nice if I get some. Did everyone see my screen when I made that demonstration?
please, you can just indicate, yes, I saw your screen. So that would give me some feedback so that I actually know, all right, great. So that just kind of shows you what to look out for and how to tell whether money is leaking from somewhere, how you can just do a quick check and find where the money is leaking from. And then I have a bonus reason. I know I said two reasons why money can be leaking from your account. One is that you've left an ad running. The second is platform glitches. And how you take care of platform glitches is that you keep checking your ad account. And we know that it's not very easy for a business owner to be monitoring their ad account. And that's why you need to get someone to just be there. Their job is to be monitoring your ad account, not just to know whether money is leaking, but also to check your cost per click, your cost per lead, and other metrics which are important to your business, as that would help you to make data-driven decisions regarding your ad. And now the third reason, which is a bonus reason for money disappearing from your ad account, is poor targeting. Yes, when people say money is disappearing from my account, it might not be literally that money is disappearing. It means that they are not getting the returns for what they are spending. So you could have poor targeting, you could have incorrect placements. We're going to talk about when you're looking at the setup of an ad. We'll talk about targeting, we'll talk about placement, and then we'll talk about your optimization goals. These are all set up issues, and they can only be addressed on a case-by-case basis. Remember, I said earlier that we can't say accurately, pinpoint accurately what is wrong with your ad account until we take a look at your dashboard, that's your back end, and we're able to say, okay, this is what's going on here. So as a case study, I'm just going to end this particular session with a case study, and that's of a client who reportedly spent over 1.5 million naira in direct ad spend in 3 months, and the money was bleeding. She said some days she would put in 50,000 naira, and the next day money disappeared. She's probably running an ad of 7,000 naira a day, but 50,000 naira disappears overnight. And so what did we do? We went into her account, we took a look, and we saw what the problem was. She had left multiple ads running, and we stopped the ads. In her case, she was turning off the ads from Instagram because she was running Instagram ads, but at the same time, she was also working from the Meta Ads Manager. So after turning off an ad on Instagram, when the funds finishes from the account and she puts in some money, what happens is that something triggers, and then the ads begin to run all over again. And she actually didn't know. So she had like 5, 6 accounts, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, and then when she funds her account, everything disappears. So what we did was that we went into her dashboard, we found out what the problem was, stopped all the accounts, and the bleeding stopped. Simple as that. So you need to pay attention to your ad account, what's happening there. No one's out to get you. No one's out to steal your money. No one's out to make things super hard for you. They're just out to help you. The platforms themselves are out to help you get better. And so that's the answer to question one. Tega has a few announcements that she's going to take now, and then we'll take question two.
So we're sure you had a good time with during that first answering or hearing the answer to that very first question. So we will be taking a lot of time, but we're going to move on to the very next question now. However, like Ms. Abigail said, if you have questions, drop them in the chat. We're ready to answer your questions. You're going to be seeing the links to all our socials. If you're not already following us, this is the time to do so right now. So if you're ready, we are ready for the very second question. Are you getting excited to hear it? Okay, so let's welcome Ms. Abigail again.
Our next question is actually for people who are in the services industry. So if you are here and you are in the services industry, this one is for you. The question is, why am I getting low quality leads? I remember that when we started this session, MD was speaking and she said that when we started off at Slvr Wlf, this was one of the first problems that we faced. We were getting low quality leads. And it was a big one for us, which is what led us on this journey of actually trying to understand how ads work. So, why am I getting low quality leads? We're going to take a poll now, and the poll is going to ask a simple question, and that question has to do with how your I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a bit and then share the poll. The poll is on the kind of leads that you have had. Did your last 3 leads, the last 3 leads that you generated, did they meet all these 4 criteria? It's a yes or no question. Did your leads meet budget, authority, need, and timeline? If your answer is yes, you click yes. You are looking at your last 3 leads that you generated. Did they meet budget, authority, need, and timeline? And those are actually how you qualify. I'm seeing, oh dear, no single yes. Budget, authority, need, and timeline. I'm not seeing any yeses yet, all no's. Okay, so this is a big problem that lots of business owners face. So the question is, why? Why did your leads not meet the criteria? And those 3 are the criteria that you use to determine whether your lead generation is working or not. So if you work in the services industry, whether you're in real estate, digital marketing, consulting, or coaching, you may run lead ads to attract more prospects, but you want quality leads. This means that they need to have budget, they need to have authority to make decisions, they need to need your services and a timeline for conversion to happen. We call this BANT. Those are the 4 things that you look out for when you're trying to get a prospect to become a client. But for most advertisers, as you can even see from the poll that we just ran, this is hardly the case. Sometimes you get a lead, they come in, and then you're having a conversation with them, and I don't have this kind of money. Budget is not there. Or you're talking to a lead, and the person says, oh, I have to go and ask my husband. Or I have to go and ask my somebody. That means they have no authority to make the decision. Or they say, I'm not sure this is what I actually need at this time. I'm looking for something else. They don't have the need that you can meet. And sometimes they say, I'm not ready to do this now, maybe in 6 months. So they have no timeline. That is here is saying that they, of the 31, we have about 31 people on this call right now, and 26% of the 31 are saying that their lead generation did not meet. Oh, finally, we found someone who has, whose lead met budget, authority, need, and timeline. But most people are saying it did not. So, with this particular question is for you. So let's answer the question: why am I getting low quality leads from my ads? So I'll use Slvr Wlf ads as a case study. At the beginning, one of the ads that we ran for lead generation brought us 8 leads. These 8 leads was at over 3,000 naira per lead. In fact, we've run an ad at 5,000 naira per lead with no conversion. But that was in those days. These days, when we run ads, they bring us quality leads. At the beginning of this session, it was mentioned that everybody who is here came as a result of an ad. So this is well, to put it very straightforward, you are part of our ad experiment. So we ran an ad, you clicked on it, you waited to be qualified to attend this webinar, and here you are. So conversions took place. In fact, we ran an ad recently that brought over 120 leads at 412 naira per lead, and about 70 converted. So what was the difference between our campaign 1 that brought 8 leads and no conversion and campaign 2? So these are the common mistakes. Number 1, creative. 70% of the failure of ads is in the creative. People usually say, oh, my creative is good, people like it, people click. Well, maybe not. 70% of the failure of ads is in the creative. So you must think about your target audience and what would appeal to them. For example, the ads that you clicked on, I made reference to it earlier, the ad that you clicked on for this webinar, the question is, why did you click it? It spoke directly to a pain point you were experiencing. You looked at the ad and it talked about things that you were experiencing in your business, and you say, oh, I want to find out about this. So it spoke directly to a pain point you were experiencing. Also, maybe the person speaking in the ad looked and sounded believable. Well, just maybe. And then, even though in filling the form, you had to provide some information and wait to be contacted, that probably contributed to the appeal of the ad. You say, oh, if they're going to qualify me to attend a free webinar, maybe it's worth attending. And here you are. Hopefully, we are living up to the hype. So, well, I was hoping that someone would say, yes, you're living up to the hype, but okay, I'll let that slide. Hopefully, we're living up to the hype and you are enjoying the webinar so far. So, in answer to the question, why are you getting low quality leads? We're looking at the common mistakes that leads to low quality leads are wrong creative, a wrong call to action, an unclear audience, and a low barrier of entry. A low barrier of entry. This is another big problem. If your creative speaks directly to the problem that your target audience is facing, but you have a low barrier of entry, then you would let in low quality leads. And what do we mean by low barrier of entry? This leads to the question, which leads gen method, and I'm just going to switch up. I'm going to close this and put up the next poll talking about low barrier to entry. And what I want you to think about at this time is, what leads gen method are you using? Which leads gen method have you used recently? Have you used forms, DM, WhatsApp, or some others? Which leads gen method have you used when you are running ads? You see, when we talk about low barrier to entry, this is essentially what we are talking about. If you're using a form, what questions did you ask for people to fill the form? Some people will tell you, oh, just ask for their name and email. When you ask for their name, that's so that people don't have time. They don't have time to fill a form. Just ask for their name and email, and then they will give you that information. Yes, they will. But you would also get very low quality leads, because people who do not give a thought to what they are doing will also fill your form. Some will fill it just for the fun of it, just to get under your skin. They'll fill it, you'll call them, and they say, I cannot recall filling this form. And then you begin to question your entire, not your entire existence, but you begin to question the entire lead generation method. But when you ask targeted questions, of course, your questions should not be so long that it discourages even the right set of people. But your question should be just long enough to eliminate people who are time wasters, because you do not want time wasters. And the only way you can create a lead generation form that eliminates time wasters is if you understand your audience. Do you know who you want to buy from you? A lot of people will say, oh, everybody, if you have money. No, that's not it. You should be able to sit down, identify your right target audience, and after identifying your right target audience with their demographics, with their psychographics, with their and when we talk about psychographics, we're talking about their interests, their behaviors. When you are able to identify this, then you are better able to ask the right questions that goes beyond name, email, phone number. Those are low barrier entry points. When you begin to ask questions that speak to the needs of the people that you are trying to get across to. For instance, budget is one very good qualification. Remember earlier we said budget, authority, need, and timeline. But if you find that you're getting very low quality leads, you can start off. First question off the bat, do you have 1 million naira? That's the people you're looking for. If they don't have 1 million naira, they will not click your ad. So let's say you run a real estate company, for instance, and you are trying to qualify leads with a lead form. And your first question, even on your creative, the first comment you make is 20 million naira for prime land in Lekki. Just using that as an example. Prime land in Lekki is probably not 20 million, but okay. 20 million naira for prime land in Lekki. C of O, this. If a person has 5 million, would they click your ad? No. So anybody who clicks that ad already has 20 million. Some people will tell you, oh, don't put the price, it will scare people away. Yes, that is the very reason why you should put your price, to scare people away, to scare the people that you do not want away from your ad. Because whatever that barrier of entry you create in your form is where people would come in from. Some of you use DMs, you use WhatsApp for leads generation. Hopefully you have a form that would clear people before they get to your WhatsApp. If not, you are just going to keep having low quality leads. Some people use Facebook Messenger to generate leads. Unless you have a form that is going to qualify people before they speak to you on WhatsApp, in the DMs, or in Messenger, you are going to keep having low quality leads. So the important thing to do if you do not want to keep having low quality leads is to qualify your leads. So if you have a low barrier of entry, you will get low quality leads. The longer the form, the more you're guaranteed of better quality leads, but you must strike a balance. Your question must show a deep understanding of your target customers, and you must start with disqualifying questions. So ask yourself, what is my lead disqualifier? Is it budget? Add that to your creatives. And I talked about a client that we helped by adding the lead disqualifier to her creatives. And what that happened was, boom, she had no more low quality leads, she had higher quality leads, and her problem with lead generation came to an end. So you need to understand your audience, and then you must raise the bar of where the entry point for your leads. When you do that, then you'll have higher quality leads. I know you might have questions on lead generation. If there are any questions that you have, please drop them in the chat. We'll take 2 of those questions. I'm going to hand over to Tega, who also has a few announcements to make at this time. Thank you.
Abigail, it was quite educative, and we picked lessons there. We're sure that you may have a couple of questions, and like she said, drop them in the chat. We're going to address all your questions. But like I mentioned at the beginning, we're not going to be doing this like we're just going to be talking and then you're here just listening. So we have a question for you, and we're going to randomly pick one of the answers. So you need to be very fast so that you probably get picked. The person who gets picked gets a one-on-one consultation with us, Chief Experience Officer, to set up their ad at no cost. Did you get that? I'm sure everyone will be itching. All right, so fastest fingers. The question is, what is one ad platform you're most frustrated with? What is that one ad platform that has frustrated you that you're like, no, you know what? I don't know what to do about this. Drop your answer, please. So we're going to pick one of the answers. And the person who gets picked, like I said, will have a one-on-one consultation with that Chief Experience Officer to set up their ad, and you will not be paying for it. Would you like that? So your answers, please. We're waiting to see your answers. So before we go on to the next session, before I invite Ms. Abigail to talk to us about how to improve ad targeting, just a reminder, this next session is for serious business owners. Yeah, serious business owners. So if you have good budgets, this is for you. So we'll be talking about how to improve your ad targeting, and we're confident that this will be a nice one for you. Okay, we can see your answers in the chat. We're going to be picking one. Uluwashe, I can see you. Oh, okay. We're going to pick one person randomly, and then we'll let you know that you have been picked. All right, so let me now invite Miss Abigail to answer question 3 and 4. Remember, you still have to follow us. If you've not done that, we share the links in the chat. Just go follow us on our socials and stay with us. We're still here together.
We've been talking about your ideal customer and being able to identify who your ideal customer or who your ideal client is. So we're going to start off this one with an activity. Like Tega mentioned, we're not just here just to talk, do all the talking. We also want you to participate. And so we're going to be answering how to improve my ad targeting. And our first activity is list 3 traits of your ideal customer. List 3 traits of your ideal customer. Well, you don't have to tell us what these traits are. Write it down in your phone, your notebook, whatever you have there. But ensure that you do this. It's very important for this conversation. 3 traits of your ideal customer. What a day. Okay. I can see someone asking a question here. Said, repeat what you said about disqualification of leads. Okay, we will do that. We'll do that. We'll talk about lead disqualification. I'll try and incorporate it into the answer to the question as to how do I improve my ads targeting. All right. So, what are the 3 traits of your ideal customer? Just put that down in your notebook. And when we talk about 3 traits of your ideal customer, what do we mean? What we are saying is, ask yourself, demographics. My ideal customer, demographics, let's talk about age. My ideal customer is between the ages of 25 and 45. Why? Why are we saying 25 and 45? She's a woman between the age of 25 and 45. The reason I'm saying she's a woman between the age of 25 and 45 is that I sell children's clothes. And at the age of 25 to 45, women are having children, and their children are perhaps from 0 to 14 years. So because that's the age brackets that I'm looking at, if a woman had her first child at the age of 25 and the child is 14 now, she's 49. Okay, so let's move it a little higher, 25 to 50. That's my ideal customer age. And then I ask myself, where does my ideal customer work? Why am I interested in where my ideal customer works? I'm interested in this because if she's going to afford what I sell, she should be in a particular social grade or financial window. She should be earning between maybe 400,000 to 700,000 naira a month, 400,000 naira and above. So that's another trait of my ideal customer. Behavior. What does she do? Does she go to the market every Saturday? Does she stay at home? Does she prefer to order in? These are traits. So write down 3 traits of your ideal customer. Now, what do you do with the traits of your ideal customer? That is what you use for ad targeting. See, a lot of people, when they're targeting their ads, they think about 3 things. They think about engaged shoppers. That's what everybody does. Engaged shoppers because, they're very high quality leads who have spent money on Facebook in the last 1 week. That's who engaged shoppers are. And because of this, everybody uses that as targeting. But beyond engaged shoppers, you need to know the traits of your ideal customer. And because this is going to help you with targeting. So whether you're running an awareness, engagement, sales, lead generation ad, your ad targeting is very important. By ad targeting, we mean who you want to see your ad. Because the first thing to do is to make sure that your ad creative is speaking to your target audience. But you can't do this if you have not identified your target customer or client. So that short activity was to help you to think about your target customers and to know whether you have actually had a deep thought about them. So I want you to indicate in the chats now, if your ideal customer is clear, it's very clear to you who your ideal customer is. Please just indicate, just say it's clear in the charts. If your ideal customer is clear to you, just type in the charts it's clear. If it's not clear, type in the charts not very clear. Who is your ideal customer? Please type in the charts now so that we begin to know whether we have clarity around our ideal customers or not. So when you're creating your ad, you must focus on the problems of your target audience. What are they most interested in? And name their pain. If you forget everything else in this webinar, remember this. Your ad creative must name the pain of your ideal customer or client, or else that creative will not resonate with the target audience that you want it to resonate with. So let's take real estate as an example. You're running an ad, or you have a real estate business, and you're trying to run an ad. You ask yourself, what are the biggest problems that people have with land purchase? So you're using land purchase. They want a good location. They want to be assured that they will get their C of O. They also want to be sure that when they start developing, especially here in Lagos, they will not be disturbed by louds. In your creative, calling out how you solve these problems will show that you understand your audience. So you start off by, in the first 3 seconds, to get the attention of the person that you are targeting with their biggest pain. It could be a question. So in content creation, we call this a hook. Now, your hook can be a visual or text-based hook. But the important thing about the hook is that it grabs attention in the first 3 seconds. 3 seconds does not seem to be a long time, but that is how long it will take a person to scroll past your ad without taking any action. Listen to what 3 seconds sounds like. How many pages do you think a person would have scrolled through in that time? If you're not grabbing attention, they're scrolling past your ad creative. And so you must grab attention. And the only way you can grab attention is with a deep understanding of your audience. So now we will be looking at ad targeting in your ad manager. And we'll be using Meta as an example. We're talking about Meta ads. Of course, there are Google ads and there are other ads. This video you're going to watch, I remember when I was creating the video, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can play the video. When I started creating this video, I actually thought that the video would run for 10 minutes. But by the time I started, it went for longer. So I'm just going to allow the video to play.
I hope you found the video you just watched educative. We're going to continue with the webinar. If you're just joining us, we hope that you're enjoying our Ad Demystified webinar so far. You may be worried about how you implement some of the suggestions that we have made in the course of the seminar. You want to know how you can work with it for your own specific case. So we are, for this reason, offering a complimentary 30-minute strategy session for businesses with 5 million naira quarterly revenue. So our strategies are not for everyone. If you're not at this revenue stage, you benefit from our free content. I'll put the link to maximize your digital marketing downloadable guide. You get that from our website for free. So I'll put the link in the comments so that you can pick it up from there, the link to our website. But if you're ready to scale, if your business is in the 5 million naira quarterly revenue and you're ready to scale, then let's talk. So the link is here. You can go there, you can get a guide. It's a downloadable guide, it's free of charge, and it's maximize your digital marketing. So if you're not at the revenue stage that we're talking about, you can download the free guide. But if you are at the revenue stage we're talking about and above, then you will be able to book the complimentary session with us. I'll put the link for you to book an appointment. complimentary session. So it means that you're not paying for the session, and it gives us an opportunity to see whether we can work with you. I've put the link in the chat so you can book the appointment, and we look forward to hearing from you. So we will continue with the webinar. Remember, we have 5 questions to answer. We've answered 3, and now our Chief Experience Officer, Abigail, is going to continue with the next question, the 4th question. So we just have 2 questions to go, and then we're done.
Thank you so much. We are back to answering the last 2 questions. I'm going to swap out that page you're looking at in just a bit. And our question is, do ads work? Do ads still work, or is this a waste of time? We're going to run our next poll. And this time you have to answer the question, how confident are you in ads? How confident are you in ads? On a scale of 1 to 10, you can just put a number. How confident are you in ads? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the poll is up there. While we answer the question, do ads still work? Short answer, yes. Ads work if done right. Remember at the beginning we mentioned about platforms. Platforms prioritize success. They want your ads to work because that is how they make revenue. If your ads are not working, you'll move away from their platform and go somewhere else, and no platform wants that. So they make your ads work. In fact, I would say they prioritize your ads working so that they can make more money. But as I said, it only works if you do it right. They also make money from people who do not know how to run ads. And then, well, too bad. You're wasting a lot of money, and it's going to the platforms as well. So ads work if done right. So what do people do wrong? We've mentioned this over and over during this webinar. You do not define your audience. You have a bad creative and you have a poor ad setup. Those are the 3 mistakes that lead to your losing money in ads. So if you want your ads to work, then you need to take care of these 3 things. You need to define your audience to the minutest detail, talking about, like we mentioned, their demographics and their psychographics. You need to ensure that your creative speaks directly to the pain points of your audience, and then you need to set up your ads properly. If you do that, then your ads will work. And the final question, question 5, why do specialists give conflicting answers? Why do specialists give conflicting answers to questions? What is the weirdest advice that you've ever received from an ad specialist? What were you told? What are the things that you have been told by ad specialists? I've heard some really, really weird ones. For instance, someone once told me that if your ad account is leaking funds, create a new ad account. And each time you create a new ad account, create a new Facebook page. That's the weirdest. But yes, you do get very, very weird answers to weird answers to questions when you ask ad specialists. And you may wonder, why do I get different answers? The simple answer to that question is that if someone has not taken a look at your dashboard, it's almost impossible for them to be able to tell exactly what's wrong with your ad. So there's a lot of guesswork that is happening. And so you need to be careful that the person that you are speaking to that you yourself even understand what you want, so that when you're speaking to someone, an ad specialist, and they give you advice on how to run your ads, that it makes logical sense. If it doesn't make logical sense, it probably will not work logically. So that is one reason why you have different answers from different specialists. Another thing is that what you might count as conversion may not actually be what the ad specialist is thinking of when it comes to conversion. For instance, what does conversion mean to you? If your goal is engagement, then once a person engages with your account, that's a conversion. If your goal is awareness, then when people know about your product, that's a conversion. If your goal is sales, then your conversion only happens when you make a sale. If your goal is lead generation, then conversion only happens when you generate a lead. So different goals lead to different conversion points. And so when you say my ad is not converting, and you're telling an ad specialist my ad is not converting, what he might be thinking might not be what you are thinking. So there needs to be an alignment. And that alignment can only happen when you have had the ad specialist to actually look at your ad account. That is when you can say, yes, we are on the same page, we understand what's happening, and yes, we can both speak the same language. So those are the 5 questions that we promised that we were going to answer during this webinar. We have gone through all 5 of them, and it's time to take your own questions. I know that a few questions have been dropped during the course of this webinar, and we're going to be taking those questions one after the other. But at this point, Tega has something that she wants to share with us. And so I'm just going to let Tega take it up from here.
Randomly pick one of the answers when we asked the question, what's one ad platform you're most frustrated with? So we have picked up the names of those who dropped their comments, and I have 3 here. I'm going to be randomly picking one. If it's yours, remember you get a free session with our chief executive officer, experience officer. All right, so this is it. Let me see whose name is it. Oh, ta-da! Hope Bello. Congratulations. So you'll get to speak with our chief experience officer one-on-one, get a consultation, and then do your ad for you on that platform you have picked. Thank you very much for sharing. And so I'll give the room to Ms. Abigail to do a final remarks. Thank you.
Someone here asks, how does cost per conversion bid work? I know daily budget is daily spend, but imputing the exact amount for per conversion, how does it help? Okay, I think the question you're asking is about the bid strategy, where you impute the exact amount that you want, a bid cap. Yes, you impute your bid cap and you say optimize up to this point. So it's not something I would encourage a beginning advertiser to do. But if you have advertised for a while, let's say you've advertised for a year or 2 years, and while you're advertising, you have noticed over time that the cost for each lead, your cost per lead is maybe 1,000 naira. That's your cost per lead over time. The average cost per lead is 1,000 naira. And now you want to run an ad where you want to get leads. You already know that this is what your cost per lead is. Maybe you want it to be lower and you want to force Facebook to get you a lower cost per lead. What you now do is, okay, what I want my cost per lead to be is 750 naira. I do not want it to go beyond 750 naira. So after imputing your ad spend, you go to that point and you impute 750 naira. What happens is that Facebook will be forced to find you leads at that price point during the auction. So it's an auction every day. every day, every second you are gotten a lead, you are part of an auction. Facebook doesn't let us know how much this auction is, but you can, over time, be able to guess that, okay, this is where I want it to be. And then you give that information to Facebook, and then they use it to get you that price point. They will not bid above that price point. What that means is that if someone else who is on that auction is bidding 1,000 naira for engaged shoppers, for instance, because that's where most of us like to go. We go to engaged shoppers. So if someone else has put in his budget for that day, maybe he's budgeted 30,000 naira for that day, and he has given Facebook the leeway to find the clients at whatever price point works, right? And you are saying, I only want it at 750 naira. If the price point that works with all the people that are bidding is 1,500 naira, you will not get that lead. Facebook will give that lead to the person who is optimizing based on saying, Facebook optimize my ad spend, maybe highest volume, right? So at that point, you are losing the bid. So you can just think of yourself as being in an auction, and someone says 50,000 going, 50,000 going, and then someone says 100,000. What's going to happen? They're going to shift to 100,000. Your 50,000, which looks really good when you started, suddenly doesn't look good anymore, and you lose the auction. You lose that particular person who wants to buy. And that is why most of the time we're encouraged to just use the highest volume. Let Facebook do the optimization. But if you have advertised to the point that you are so sure of what you want, then you can use the bid cap strategy. I hope your question is answered. I think one of the earlier questions that we saw, we are running well out of time. I have people asking, can we have a copy of this video? Can this session be recorded? Okay. I'm sure that those questions will be answered. Can you please repeat what you said about disqualification leads? So yes, I did mention that your lead qualification form should include a disqualification question. So when you're creating your lead qualification form, ask yourself, who do I not want? Most of the time, business owners spend so much time thinking about who they want to be part of their business, and they do not think about who they do not want. So who do I not want to be to click my ad or to fill my form? Who do I not want as a lead? And so if you ask a question, who do I not want? What you do is now you figure out what is that thing that you would use to disqualify people. Most of the time it's budget, especially for those who are selling luxury goods. And another thing that you can use to disqualify is placement. Remember that when we showed the video, placement was one of those things. If you have run ads for a long time, you will know where your sales or your leads are coming from. Are they coming from Instagram? Are they coming from uh, uh, Messenger? Are they coming from Facebook? Are they coming from WhatsApp? Where exactly are my leads coming from? So once you know where your leads are coming from, you can create a disqualification with your placement. And that would help you reach the right target of people. I use this example a lot. There's someone we're running ads for presently that we have gone as far as, if 3 people click on her ad, if she gets messages from 3 people, 1 converts. That's like very fantastic targeting that she is getting. So you only get to that point when you keep testing. That's why we say test the budget, test the placement, test the creative. When you test all of those, then it's easier for you to get what you want from your ad. So that's it. I've taken the number of questions that we can possibly take for this. I'm just going to invite ND to come back and just give closing points, and we will round it off there in this edition of the Slvr Wlf quarterly webinar. We do this once every 3 months, and we hope to see you in the next quarterly webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Abigail. So for those of you who want, I'll put the link again if you want to book a complimentary session with Abigail, our Chief Experience Officer. I've included the link there again. And I just want to thank everyone who has stayed with us till the end. You made out time to be part of our Ad Demystified webinar today. We have a bonus content for everyone who filled out the form to book a session with our CXO. We'll be emailing you the contents and ad budget planner. So keep an eye out for that. And we look forward to seeing you again in 3 months. Do leave us a review if you enjoyed this session. We have a Google review link, which I'll leave in the chat now. It will mean a lot to us if you could leave a review for us regarding your experience at our webinar. Thank you very much in advance. Also, what would you like us to discuss in the next webinar? As Abigail mentioned, we do this quarterly. So we're always open to suggestions. What would you like us to discuss? You can drop your suggestions in the chat, or you can send us an email if you would prefer it to be private. If you don't want everyone else to see what your suggestion is, that's fine. I will leave our email here, hello@slvrwlf.com. You can send us an email and we'll consider it when deciding on our next webinar topic. So thank you so much for staying with us till the end, and God bless you. And we hope to see you again in our next webinar.